Ryan is like, oh my
Five,
God, I
four,
want to
three.
go.
Here we go. Hi, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Seventh Rule. I'm here with your stars, Aaron Eisenberg and Sirach Lofton. My name is Ryan T. Husk. We are joined today by Mikki Gunter. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Close enough.
Gunter?
Gunter. It's married in. I'm going to exchange it eventually.
Great. So she has a table at the Star Trek convention called Make It So.
Never mind.
It's so cool. You can see it behind me here. It's amazing. It's glorious. Actually, let me get a little closer view of this.
Make it so.
This is it. All the fine goodies that you see here and here. Tell us about it, Mikki. First of all, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Any chance to sort of exploit my goods in the Ferengi style. As this is the only convention that I do is the Star Trek convention.
Mm-hmm.
I've been attending since 2004, where I went as Orion Sleep.
What year was that?
This was actually Orion Sleep 2007.
Oh, and who's in the picture with you there?
That one's Shatner, that one's Nimoy.
Oh,
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
Collectively, that's like $400.
Okay.
Autographed as well. The Nimoy one is my most treasured possession. More so, it would be the one thing I would save in the house.
You would sell Shatner, is what you're saying. If you had to choose, Shatner would be
No,
sold.
if the house was burning down, she'd run in and grab that Nimoy picture.
That's right.
But I took
You
the
look at
picture-
both and go,
Yeah.
I'm taking Nimoy.
I took the pictures of both of them in the same year, and then couldn't afford to get the autographs till 2 years later. And Shatner, and Nimoy, I remember you. I mean, I died. I died right then and there. Made my
And then
life.
somehow you were reborn to get home and put the picture on the wall.
Exactly. All prized possession, insurance. But yeah, so I've been going since 2004. It's about 2014. It started getting a little bit expensive. It started getting, pricey to go to the convention. And I crochet and I sew and I was making my own dresses and stuff like that. And I'm going to mess up her name and I apologize, but
Okay.
she's wonderful. She played the Admiral and it's like Nachea, Admiral Nachea. Or is that her name in real life?
Yeah.
That's her name in real life.
Oh, no. In real life, her name is...
Like Natalia.
I don't know who we're talking about.
Yeah, it's Natalia Nogulich, I think.
It is.
Oh, I know Natalia.
It's a specifically vowel-filled name.
Yeah.
And
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, and she crochets.
Oh.
When, in between signing, if you catch her over at her table, she'll be crocheting away. And it was, I think, 2014, and I went up to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I love this. I crochet too, and I bought one of her hats, and she signed it for me. And I said, I was thinking of making some Star Trek stuff. Who knows what you can crochet. And she says, you know what, make it so. That's an order from an admiral. And I named my tiny
and you make it. That's a great story. Had you have met Michael Dorn, it might have been the name. Today is a good day to sew.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, I got to still propose the Cuddle Dungeon to Michael Dorn, so we'll see how that goes. I think.
Good luck with that one.
Cuddle Dungeon.
Cuddle Dungeon. Come down to the Cuddle Dungeon with me.
For the Klingons who need to let go and are afraid to do it in front of their friends.
A lot of anger that they need to get out. They need to release.
Without murdering someone. Just hug it out, guys. Hug it out.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Mikki, can you tell us what your fine wares are? What do you do? What do you provide? I know you got a bunch of goodies down off camera.
I see a Jack Skellington behind you actually, and some Pokemon.
Oh yeah, in the picture. Those every year it changes.
Okay.
Something's happening on my screen. There's a little thing.
Yeah, Sirach's having a connection issue. So he's here.
I'm here.
That's all.
I'm here. I'm here audioly.
Mikki, you can always switch to gallery view on the top right of your thing, and then you can see all four of us all the time.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I like that one. Okay.
Yes, it's like Hollywood Squares.
Like whack-a-mole.
Star Trek. Yeah, whack-a-mole.
So I kind of started with these guys, the Trectopusses.
Squid.
What did you call them again?
Trectopus.
Trectopus.
Yeah.
If you have multiple, are they Trectopi?
Trectopi, yeah, sir.
An octopus.
Just kidding. I don't know if octopi is really the plural form. I don't think it is,
It is.
but it should.
Either way, this keeps CBS from suing me.
Oh, honestly, I think even if you had regular legs, you could do it because it's a creative, artistic expression. If I'm correct, by the way, but
Plus, they stand well. I like the octopi.
Okay.
So this year, you know, I've got some spots. The Picardicus, I feel, will be popular. As Patrick Stewart himself has one and said he would treasure it always. Much different reaction from Shatner's. And then the new ones this year, I did some disco.
Ah, very good.
Wow, nice.
I tried to get them to kiss with magnets. I mean, I don't know how
Yes.
Hallmark does
Did you
it.
just make them kiss?
She did. She made them kiss. Sirach, I don't think he can see that, but she made them kiss.
You missed
No,
out,
I could hear the
Sirach.
kiss. I
Yeah.
could totally
You
hear
missed
the kiss.
It was pretty slobbery, I think,
You can
Sirach.
hear it, though.
Yeah.
I could hear the slobber.
There was octopi kissing. It was very messy.
Now, I know there was only
Everywhere.
one. I know that Tilly dropped the first one on Star Trek, but I'll feel free to drop the second
Oh,
one.
an F-bomb.
Oh, you know, I see that. I think of Mario Brothers for some reason, or Mario.
Very popular last year.
Okay.
Very popular. It was crazy. People
So let me understand this. You were saying the conventions were getting expensive, so that's when the Admiral suggested that you start selling your own stuff at the booth?
Yes, that I make my own wares. That I, pay my way through, having a little booth there. And so the next
Gotcha.
year, I did I did a yard sale in my room, and I shouldn't have done
You should have
that.
called it a bridge sale.
A yard sale in
You
your
should have called
room.
it a bridge sale. I'm just saying.
I know, but it was like really last minute. I grabbed the stuff that I kind of been working on and making. I didn't have, any of the jewelry. I just had a few very rudimentary, old school kind of crocheted items, hats and stuff.
What's old school crochet?
For me, beanies, just the
Oh,
old stuff that I used to make. It wasn't like this caliber.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sirach, I don't think Sirach, you can't see that, right?
Pretty good, though.
I can see that. No, I didn't see that. I can see the hat she had on with the ears. I don't know if that's what we're talking
No,
about.
she's got a Star Trek Enterprise
Yeah,
crochet.
it's the original series.
Yeah, it's pretty
good.
cool.
I'm old school. I like old original series.
Wow.
I also the Type
No spoilers. We're going to ask you about that later.
Type 2 phaser with the Type 1 integration.
Wow.
I'm sorry, wait. Do that again?
So Type 1 phaser, Type 2.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So those are very limited because they're hard to make and they're bulky and they're big. But for all your security.
So, what was the process for to become from being a guest to now I guess being a vendor?
Paying lots of money. No, it was so like I said, I threw this little yard sale in my room.
Bridge sale.
Lots of bridge sale. Lots of mistakes were made, including not calling it a bridge sale. And I got shut down by security, so I drank myself into a stupor that night. Now this was Thursday. I got shut down. I made a few sales.
CBS sent a couple of hitmen to shut you down.
Well, I think what had happened
Couple
was
Dominion, I think.
I absolutely was dying to see Carl Urban because. And so I sent my friends with a few flyers, and they took them into the vendor's room. And the vendors were like, "Not on our watch, damn it!" So
I remember hearing that actually. It was loud and angry. Yeah.
That's what that was, huh?
Yes, that's right.
That's what
Sirach.
that sound was.
We finally figured it out.
Thank you.
Security came and shut me down. It was hilarious. They come in and, "What's going on here?" I'm like, "I'm having a craft party." And of course, my friend Lydia is like, "No, she's selling all her stuff. Isn't it great?" I'm like, never mind.
Oops.
So we shut it down.
Oops. We're no longer friends with Lydia.
I'm not really friends. I'm not really close with her.
The unofficial yard sale.
Bridge sale.
The unofficial bridge sale. So I drank myself into a stupor, but came up with a great idea. And the next day, I went down to the vendor's room where I had made friends with someone who had a table and hardly anything on it. He had these
He was
little,
just selling the table, Mickey. That's why.
That was my table. You don't have to put me on blast like that.
these weird little Minecraft figurine things. And I asked him,
It had a sign say back in 15 minutes. It had
Yes, it
something
did.
on it, right?
So I took over the business. So I asked him, I said, it's Friday. We've got 3 more days of convention. How much of your booth are you willing to sell me for how much? He says, I'll give you a quarter of it for $50. Done. I was in the black that day.
Yeah.
Cents in the black. So Rod Roddenberry came by, bought a Minion hat for Zale. I appreciated that very much. Because Zale was about 4 months old when that happened. I was just like, give me the baby.
Now, before we get, I do want to move on a bit to the convention itself, but before we go all the way into that, I do want to give a shout out to your actual website company or your online company. What is that again? Where can we find you?
Just Make It So on Facebook. It's
Make It So with an SEW. Now, I made a purchase with you just a few months ago because a couple of my moderators in the Discovery group, this Discovery Facebook group, they saw your post or your advertisement about these cool little Janeway cozies that you put on your mug or whatever like that. Carly and Kim, yeah, that's the one. And they were just like, oh my God, I want this so bad. And I figured since they've been so good to the group and to me, you know, I'd make a little surprise out of it. And I contacted you, and I must have asked you like 20 questions, and you were fine answering all of them. And I said, how much is this to mail it out to? Because Kim is so problematic because she decided to be born in Canada. So there's all these extra issues.
I can't believe Kim would do that.
But anyway,
unbelievable.
You did a great job. Your customer service is impeccable. It's fantastic. You answered all the questions. You delivered everything. You did all the work for me. And so I appreciate that. And I hope everybody realizes that online you can make these orders. Facebook, just type in Make It So and message you, and you can get whatever you want. You are awesome.
We should get one of those, Ryan, for these. You know, a little thing around.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Star Trek thing for our microphones.
I cozied up my car. I've yarn bombed my car pretty much completely. And
your car has a cozy around it?
well, not the whole car. Yes, my entire it's a car cozy.
Okay.
Ambition. I don't.
Okay.
So, Mikki, tell us about Star Trek Las Vegas and what you love about it and what you hate about it.
Okay, well, that's an easy one. No, I love Star Trek convention. First time I went in 2004, I went with my ex-husband and my little girl when we had, yeah, I know. We first moved to Los Angeles.
Did you leave him there? Is that?
Pretty much. When I saw his love and admiration for Marina Service, I was like, oh, I'll never add up. No, we had a great time. I interacted with Will Wheaton. It was one of the ones where Will Wheaton was there.
Uh-huh.
And
Will's a great guy, actually. I really like Will.
It's so funny. I've got kind of a Sheldon thing with him, though. Because from that, he was in an improv group for Acme Comedy Theater here in Los Angeles. I went and saw the improv show. It was amazing. I talked to the owners, became instant friends with the wife and the owners, started working there, started working with Will, and working the improv shows and got into improv. And now all my best friends are all because of that.
Oh, wow. How about that?
Because if it wasn't for that convention, I never would have met Will and wouldn't have gone to Acme Comedy Theater. And literally the guy whose wedding I was in a couple years ago as his best man, I wouldn't have known him at all. It wasn't for that. So I appreciate it. Your life in LA, I think, is because of Star Trek. And yeah, it's been great. I went, and each year just my cosplay would get a little bit better. I love my Orion Slave Girl from 2007.
Yeah. So does Sirach.
It is my favorite. And then
did you say Ryan Slave Girl?
Or my Captain America, where I mash up Captain America and Captain Janeway.
That's clever.
Yeah.
You're Captain America? That's funny.
Yeah, they did Creation did that matchup contest a couple years ago. Star Trek mashups, and so I did Captain Catherine America.
Yeah.
Because I felt she was the most patriotic of all captains.
You gotta think about other ones like that, like try to mash up, like Iron Man, or I'm the Incredible Husk, right? Instead of the Incredible Hulk, and you're Catherine America. Aaron can be Cant-Man instead of Ant-Man. I don't know.
That was really bad. I don't even know what you were doing with that one.
I think Deadpool would make an awesome red shirt.
What's that?
I think Deadpool would make an awesome red shirt.
Like, Red Pool?
Red Pool, like the unkillable red shirt.
Yeah.
But then what's Sirach then?
Jake. It's Jake.
Hawkeye or anything. Nobody likes him.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not nice to say about Hawkeye.
I was about to say, yeah, that's
Really
Sirach is Hawkeye. He's Sirach-eye.
I know.
Sirach-eye.
I know. See, I actually do like Hawkeye, especially from Endgame. That was my favorite. That was my favorite depiction of Hawkeye. Endgame. So
I could be War Machine. I could be Captain War Machine.
Warm Machine.
there are so many mashup ideas. I mean, look, I have Spock as the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. Mashups are, I love them. I love a good mashup. But so one of the best things about convention for me, besides people, besides my family, my Trek family, people who are closer, I'm closer to people in Star Trek family than I am to my actual family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I spend time with people outside of Trek as much as I possibly can. You know, I go really early. I just spent a month in Australia with 2 people that I met from Star Trek convention.
Wow. What were you doing there?
Oh my God, just having the best time. It was amazing. I was just, I was reliving my 20s, essentially.
Okay.
I had a child very young. I took him back. She's off at college, so why not head off to Australia for a month and hang out with people I met at Star Trek convention?
Sure.
Awesome.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say I stayed with Nate. I saw Rebecca. We had Star Trek meetups at both places I stayed in in Australia. So I got to bring cosplay and dress up in Australia, and that was super fun. So yeah, I like Star Trek, and what I like about Star Trek is who it brings together. And for me, it brings together this family that I can spend time with outside of Trek. And
that makes me ask a question. How many times do we have different accents in Star Trek? Now, I'm not fully aware of all the episodes. So like an Australian accent or an Irish accent, obviously we have O'Brien and we have Patrick Stewart and what have you. But do we hear other accents from different countries within Star Trek? Because in that world, there's still going to be those other countries with the various accents, right?
Well, we definitely had a
tangent question, but
we had a Cuban and an Englishman playing an Indian person as Khan in the past. So there was a Cuban accent and a British accent playing an Indian guy. So there's that. Hey, but
it's a random question. We'll bring it up on the show one day as we watch the show.
The accent she had.
What's that?
Marina. She made up the accent she had. She said.
That's right.
You're right.
Marina.
Yeah. That's the segue. Top 3 things about convention is where my booth is located is prime real estate, y'all.
Yeah. You know that they just moved Jake and I there. Sirach and I are now in your spot. I didn't want to have to tell you on the show, but since you brought it up, I thought I would. No, we don't.
Oh yeah. I got a billion of these tiny little booths.
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I was just kidding. What's number 2?
But yeah, so the location is so great.
Number 1.
Yeah, this is still
top
3. The location is so great that's where the stars come in and out. That's where Marina comes by. That's where Brent Spiner comes by. All the stars come in and out that door. And so it's always like
I always go through the main door.
Yeah. Well, it's like when Patrick Stewart was brought in last year. Right by.
Yeah, went right by you.
Right by me, so I could hear it.
Yeah.
But when
you
you
just
go
reach
back,
out and brush, just touch him as he brushes by.
Why are you here? Oh, but out back is kind of a hangout area, and I go out there, and I've gotten to be kind of close. Like she knows me by name, Marina Sirtis. So like to me, that's kind of like I'm totally stoked with that. Especially last year because I was having some things go on, and she's like, Mikki, get your shit together. Oh yes, ma'am. And I got a selfie with Jason Isaacs. I got a selfie with Mary Chiefo. I got a selfie with last year Anson Mount was back there just kind of hanging out, and I didn't know who he was. I didn't recognize him. We didn't know about Pike yet. And I was talking to the handler, and I was like, I am so sorry, I'm so rude. My name's Mikki. What's your name? And he says, oh, I'm Anson Mount. And I was like, oh, I don't know what an Anson is, but I know I want to mount it. And he just...
Oh, God.
Both
Ryan, don't say anything. Ryan, don't say anything.
I didn't.
Oh, but I
took
can.
The words out of my mouth. She took my line, so what can I say?
What can you say?
Hey,
All right.
sorry to say, but we do have to run. We're out of time here, Mikki, but thank you so much for joining us. Before we go, what's your favorite Star Trek series?
TNG. Sorry, original.
The original series.
Original series, all the way.
We thought so.
My God, like I got this when he passed away.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? It was the most painful tattoo on the planet. I've got the OG Enterprise here for my Navy service, and I've got Uhura as Alice down my thigh, and eventually I'll have Scotty as the walrus leading the Richard.
I've never had a Uhura on my thigh. I danced with her in Germany,
I
but
have a Uhura on my
I've never
thigh.
had her
all
on
the
my
time.
thigh.
Hey, thank you for your service.
Of
Got a
course.
Uhura
You can
on
thank
my
me by coming by
thigh.
my booth and buying something handmade by a veteran.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for serving.
Of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you so much for serving.
Yeah,
and
thanks,
thank you
guys.
for joining
I
us.
can't wait to see everybody at convention this year. Come by the
We'll
booth.
see you.
I'll be there.
We will see you in Vegas.
We will see you in Vegas.
So for Sirach Lofton, Aaron Eisenberg, I'm Ryan T. Huss. That's Mikki Gunter. Check her out on Make It So. She's going to hook you up. She's great. 80% off this week on everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was 90.
Thanks for joining us. And always remember the 7th rule.